Welcome everyone to our first Musical Passports event. We're starting off slow, but hopefully as time comes we'll get some more audience to support our club. So our first event will be, as we have here, Gayathri Miss Gayathri Srinivasan, who is a local professional Bharatha Natyam dancer in classical music, accompanied by her student Samyuktha. Okay. So everyone please give a round of applause for them.
Namaste. I wanted to start by explaining what Bharatha Natyam is. Bharatha Natyam is an Indian classical dance form from the southern part of India, and it has been around for more than 2000 years. It has its roots in the temples, and the reigning deity for Bharatha Natyam is Nataraja or Lord Shiva. As you can imagine, in any classical dance form, there's a lot of time and effort that needs to have been put in to be able to perform. So I'm going to represent a few basic elements of Bharatanatyam. One of the most important elements of Bharatanatyam is what we call the Aramandi, which is half sitting, as Samyukta and I will demonstrate. And this is Aramandi. You can always see the dancers doing most of the unit of dance in this position. They'll also be standing, but the dance will be in this position. I also wanted to show you there are some different mandalas or feet positions that we can demonstrate for you. Ayatam, which is standing. Sthanakam, which is standing. Ayatam. Then you have Alidam. Preritam, Pratyalidam, Swastikam. Swastikam means crossing. So as you can see, the feet are crossing behind the front feet, or it's behind it, it's crossing. Then Moditam, Samasuchi, Parshvasuchi. And I think I forgot two other positions, which is Prankanam and I think that's it, right? Okay. Beyond this, I just wanted to also explain that there are different types of training that one needs to do. As you can imagine, this is a very awkward and uncomfortable position. So to get comfortable with this position, you have to train in this position, your feet, for many, many years. And the first thing that any dance student learns is what we call tattadavu, which is just stomping on the floor with both the feet. Samyukta will represent the first tattadavu and all three speeds. Dhalam kutakadi kutakatadinginatom teiya tei teiya tei. Second speed. Teiya tei teiya. Third speed. Teiya tei teiya tei teiya tei teiya tei. There are 8 different versions of Tattadavu, which is essentially stomping, but we just showed you one. And then once the dance student gets comfortable with this, she will learn, or she or he will learn to do some hand movements along with the foot movement. And we'll show you Nattadavu. The first Nattadavu, as you can see, in addition to the Aramandi position, you also see the extension of the hand. So the hand is not extended straight, it is bent, and you can see that the palm is facing the floor, whereas the tips of the fingers are pointing upwards. So that you need to be feeling until here, you should be able to feel the tips of your finger. And this is the Natya Arambham position, or beginning of dance position. So she'll represent the first Nattadavu, Dhalan kutakadi kutakatadinginatom teiyum tat tat teiyum tam. Second speed, teiyum tat tat teiyum. Third speed, tat tat teiyum tam teiyum tat tat teiyum tam. So you saw that in addition to the hands, now the feet, the hands have also started operating and being incorporated into the movement. Now we'll show you the 7th Nattadavu. Again, we have 8 different Nattadavus. 7th Nattadavu, and Samyukta will show first, second, and third speed on this Nattadavu. Dhalan kutakadi kutakatadinginatom teiyum tat tat teiyum tam teiyum. saw that in the tattadavu, only the legs were there and very simple. Then only one hand just going this way, and now you have a little more complication. And you have been seeing some movement, but they're mostly in one spot. So now we will show you something that will incorporate some moving around the stage. So we'll show you some leaps. So, dhalang kutakadi kutakata dingenatom dhetayum tattate dhetayum tattate dhetayum tattate dhetayum tat. Second speed. Dhetayum tat 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 dhetayum tat. So you saw that in this we are starting to move around a little bit. Now we'll show you taking pirouette. Okay? Dhalang kutakati kutakata dingenatom taka dhemi taka dhemi. So this is just putting a leg here and turning, right? There are many different ways of turning. We'll show you one where you're not going to be, it's called Ekapada Brahmani, which means one-legged Brahmani. Okay? Again, similarly, we'll be turning, but you'll see that the leg will be lifted. One leg will be lifted. So, taka dhemi taka dhemi. So you saw that we pirouetted like this on one leg. Okay, beyond that, the next one I wanted to show you is gaits or different ways of walking. We'll first show you a woman walking, okay, or a girl walking. Taka dhemi taka dhemi. Now we'll show you a man walking. I will walk like a king and she'll walk like a man, okay? Or what we think is a man, okay? 1, 2, 3, start. Taka dhemi taka dhemi taka dhemi taka dhemi. So you saw that when a woman walks, she's walking gracefully, whereas when a man is walking, he is walking with, strength and valor or some representation of what we can call manliness. Okay. Now beyond that, what else did we say? Peacock, right? So let's represent what a peacock can look like, right? One peacock is represented by this gesture, which is Mayura Hasta. Dhalang kutakati kutakata dingenatom taka dhemi taka dhemi taka dhemi taka dhemi. Okay? Now let's show elephant. 1, 2, 3, start. Taka dhemi taka dhemi taka dhemi taka dhemi. Okay? Deer. Okay. Deer is represented by this mudra or hand gesture, and it's called Simhamukha, which means lion face. But here we are going to represent a deer with lion face. 1, 2, 3, start. Taka dhemi taka dhemi. Okay? So one last thing, since we are on the animal theme, we'll show you how a horse trots. There's no horse representation other than the trotting. So this is the mudra that we use, and we'll do the horse trotting. Taka dhemi taka dhemi. So you see that this is the first time the knees are pointing to the front, not to the side. So this is the first time it's pointing to the front, and they are not aligned, they are one behind the other somewhat. Okay? Okay, let's see what else I have. Then you heard me say all these words, takka, dhimi, dhalankutom, all these words, right? What does that mean? They are just verbal representation of percussion instruments, or what we think a mridangam will sound like, right? So if I'm saying kidatakatarikidatom, then if a mridangist was here and he played the same thing, it'll sound like that. Not exactly like that, it's just a verbal representation. So I think Samyuktha wanted to show 30 metal articles, which is, dance and music are intertwined. So without music, you can't really do dance. So we're going to show you different beats that can be incorporated in dance, right? So we will show you 4 of each. So we'll show you 4 of 3 beats, Tishram. 1, 2, 3, start. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Now we'll do 4 of Chatushram. So takadim, okay? So ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, kar, dhim, mi. Now we will represent 5, okay, or khandam. 1, 2, 3, start. Ta, kar, ta, ki, ta, ta, kar, ta, ki, ta, ta, kar, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Then we will represent 7, or Mishram. 1, 2, 3, start. Ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, ki, ta. 7 is 4 plus 3. Ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, ki, ta, dhim, mi, ta, ki, ta. Now I will represent, or we will represent 9, or Sankirna. 5 plus 4, or 4 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, start. Ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, kar, ta, ki, ta. Dhim, mi, ta, kar, dhim, mi, ta, kar, dhim, mi. Now we'll just combine all of it, 1 each. Okay, we won't stop, you just figure it out, okay? And I'm not going to be able to say it because I'll be dancing. 1, 2, 3, start. Ta, ki, ta, ta, kar, dhim, mi. Okay? Alright. What else? Now, you saw us use this. What does that actually mean? It means different hand gestures. Right now, we are not really conveying any meaning, but it could be used, like when I showed representation of elephant, then I was using this mudra or this, right? So you can convey meaning with your hand gestures, or you may just use it to do pretty movements, right? So we'll show you 1 hand gestures, 2 hand gestures, head movement, eye movement, and all that. What does that mean? Okay. So pataka, tripataka, ardha pataka, Kartari mukha, mayurasyo, ardha chandrascha, arala, shukatundakaha, mushtischa, shikharakescha, kapitha, kataka mukha, suchi, chandrakala, padmakosha, sarpashirastatha, mrigashirsha, simhamukha, Kangulascha, alapadmakaha, chaturo, bhramarashchaiva, hamsasyo, hamsapakshakaha, samdamsho, mukulaschaiva, tamrachura, trishulakaha, anjalischa, kapotascha, karkata, swastikastatha, dolahasta, Pushpaputaha, Utsanga, Shivalingakaha, Katakavardhanaschaiva, Kartari swastikastatha, Shakatam, Shankha, Chakrecha, Samputa, Pashakilakau, Matsya, Kurma, Varahascha, Garudo, Nagabandhakaha, Khatva, Bhirundakakescha, avahittastataivacha. Now head movements. Samam, udvahitam, adhomukham, alonitam, dhutam, kampitam cha, paravrittam, Udkshitam Parivahitam Samam Sachi Pralokita Ullokita Nimilite Alokita Anuvritte cha Tata chaiva Avalokita. Neck movements. Sundari cha Tirashchina Parivartita Prakampita. Alright. After this, I wanted to show you, wanted to tell you one thing, which is a guiding principle of dance, which is Yato hasta tato drishti, means wherever your hands are, that's where you need to look. Yato drishti tato manaha, wherever your drishti or your eyes are, that's where your mind is focused. And yato manaha tato bhavaha, wherever your mind is, that's where your emotions are. And yato bhavaha tato rasaha, wherever you are creating emotions, that's where you can evoke a response from your audience. So that's what this guiding principle of dance is. Again, yato hasta tato drishti, yato drishti tato manaha tato bhavaha tato rasa. Okay? Just wanted to say that because that is a guiding principle for everything that we do. And I did want to talk about, you may have heard about Arangetram, and what does that mean? Of course, my son calls it orangutan, but it's not orangutan, it's Arangetram. And Arangetram means, Aranga means stage, Yetram means to climb. So to climb the stage, and the first time you climb the stage is the ceremonious Arangetram. And that is done once a dance student has done a training and has learned a full repertoire, which is called Margam, that she or he can dance on stage. So you don't come and do your Arangetram or a full dance performance solo until you have learned one entire set that you can then plug in and play. So that's your Arangetram. Then in my hand gestures, you may have seen my emotions or my face also showing some emotions. So there are like 9 different emotions, so to speak. I will just talk about a few. One is anger, so as you can, you can open your eyes big and you can scrunch it up a little bit and you can look like this. That would be anger. Or, oh my God, did that happen? So that's just surprise. That's laughter, right? That's love. You can show, but everything is depending on context. And so now we will show you a few things to get things in context. So first we'll start with something that's called Alaripu. Alaripu is something that is going to just blossom from nothing to something, okay? So bear in my knees are not in great shape today, so I will be cheating. So please forgive me for that. But watch Samyuktha. She's going to be doing much better than I will. How many of you guessed? How many of you guessed what beat that was? Where was 7? That, bring me, that, bring me, that's how it went, okay? Alright, I know we were told 7:30 was the deadline. We have 5 minutes. I think I'm going to show a little bit of Rupamuchuji? Okay. Okay, with the Tirmana. Or maybe just the Rupamuchuji. Yeah. Varnam is the longest piece in a dance recital. Typically between 25 and 35 minutes long, depending on who your audience is. So you want to either cut it short or make it longer. And the dancer as well. What is her stamina? So I'm not going to do, so it has a little bit of dance pieces like what we just did and interspersed with a lot of emotions, right? So it's many lines. I'm going to do one line. It says Rupamu Juchi Valachi Vachitini, means after seeing your beautiful form, I came looking for you, okay? So you will see the representation of that. The same line will be sung many times, and I'm going to show you a few times, okay? Many times, and I just showed you some representation. And I showed you some things that may not have made sense with that one simplistic meaning that I told you. I said, seeing your beautiful form, I came with a lot of love. Okay? Now, I did a lot of things that may not have said that, so that was like one tiny story inside that line that says, oh, one who has no end. So one of the gods looked up all over the sky and could not find him. Another god went all below the earth and could not find him. That person I came looking for. So there are many ways to look for it. And with that, we are going to conclude today's lecture, and we both will do Namaskaram. We always start the dance praying to Mother Earth because we are stomping on her. So now we are going to conclude by doing a Periya Namaskaram. Same thing, we are going to ask her for her forgiveness. Dhadan kutaka di kutaka ta dingin tom ta ka dim mi 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 dim